Pinarello F5 in a size 53, weighing 8.79 kilos. And in pounds, 19 pounds, 8 ounces. Stay tuned after video where you're free to buy some on those Fulcrum wheels right there. Hey everybody, GC Performance here, back on that video. And today I have for you guys the brand new 2023 Pinarello F5. This is the newest bike to their lineup. This is going to bring race geometry to their entry-level consumers. And they completely got rid of the Pinarello Paris and the Pinarello Prince. And these are the bikes that are going to be replacing it. So in today's video, we're going to talk about everything that this bike does right, the price point of it, the things I don't like the wheels, and who this bike is for. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. And if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Big shout out to Epic Cycles for having this bike in stock. This is a size 53 and this bike retails for $6,000. I know it is expensive. I know you guys are going to say entry level is not expensive, but I do think they have something in the works to have this bike built up with this kind of carbon tier level, same geometry with maybe like a mechanical 105 in the future, to bring it a price down lower tier, so that way it's a little bit more of an entry level. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Oh my God, it's freaking windy out today. Holy hell. Stop turning your wheel. I move bike spots because I'm a smart gypsy. No more wind to blow for me. I move my truck here to block the wind. I'm a smart guy. If you guys do see me run to this bike and the handlebars turn, it's mainly because I get jump scared because I think the wind's gonna blow it over because it's so windy out. So don't laugh at me. But anyways, let's talk about what this bike is about. So this is the F lineup. As you guys know, Pinarello is known for their Dogma F. It is their top tier, high quality racing bike that has a really aggressive race geometry that a lot of people like, and it's a very expensive bike. The lineup that Pinarello had before was, you had the Paris, which was kind of their budget option, but more of an endurance geometry. Then you had the Prince, and then I think you had the Prince FX, and then the Pinarello Dogma F. So if you wanted to get into a Pinarello bike, and you wanted to have that $3,500 to $4,000 price point budget range, you would have to be forced into buying the Pinarello Paris, which didn't have the same geometry as the Pinarello Dogma F. It was more of an endurance bike. It was a lot heavier. So you have these enthusiast racers who wanted to maybe be about the brand or maybe support the brand because they like the way the bike looked, but the only bike they can get into is an endurance lineup. So what this bike is supposedly supposed to do is to bridge that gap for that entry-level consumer. Now I know this bike is $6,000 and it is expensive. This is not entry-level by any means, but I do think Pinarello has the ideas or the means to bring this down into that Paris price point to give the same Dogma F geometry that everyone loves and aspires to have, and bring it to a consumer that can afford this frame. So this frame, in theory, is the exact same geometry as the Dogma F. It's literally the exact same geometry. There's nothing different about it. There are some aesthetics differences to this bike, like not having this little tail back here. But it's the exact same geo as that Dogma F that you see these pros ride in the Tour de France. The only difference is that this frame is a T700 carbon, so it's going to be the cheapest carbon fiber they make, whereas the F7 is going to be their T900 carbon, and then their Dogma F is going to be their T1100 carbon. So this is a good move by Pinarello because, one, I think it takes away that confusion for consumers and that overwhelmingness for consumers as well. When they're going to buy a Pinarello, people are like, okay, we have the Paris, you have the Prince FX, the Dogma. What are all these different names? Now when you go in to buy a bike, because I also heard they're discontinuing the Paris and discontinuing the Prince as well. Now when you go in to buy a bike, they're actually going to be just an F lineup. So you're going to have the F5, the F7, and then the Dogma F. So it's more convenient and more easier for consumers to get used to and kind of have like a tier list. Now this is not new in the bicycle world at all. Just to give you guys a reference, Specialized has been doing this for a while with a Tarmac. You can get a Tarmac Comp, a Tarmac Expert, a Tarmac Pro, a Tarmac SL7 S-Works. They're all the exact same geometry, just different carbon weaves. Trek does it, BMC does it, all these other bike companies do it. This is the first time that I think Pinarello has jumped on board with this, even though it's been around for so long. So again, it's not new to the bicycle industry, but it is new to people who are fans of Pinarello, because I did have a bunch of people reach out to me when I did the Paris reviews and I did the Prince reviews that wanted to buy that Dogma F bike, but obviously couldn't splurge the 16 grand. So this is giving them everything they want from the Pinarello company without having to spend their whole wallet on it. So it's just a little bit heavier carbon. You're getting the Onda fork, you're getting the same exact clean lines, like I said, of the Pinarello Dogma F. And the really main difference is just this doesn't have this little seat wedge right here. The seat wedge is in front. It is still that same Pinarello asymmetric geometry. It literally has everything else. The Italian bottom bracket, it's the exact same. So, like I said, we will wait to see what happens with price points in the future. The F7 is going to be a nice bike as well. Let's talk about weight of this bike, because the weight was atrocious. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know why these Italian companies do this with these Fulcrum wheels. Colnago I see do it, Pinarello I see do it. These wheels to me just look like tanks. Like, these things look like just like a solid alloy or steel wheel. It just looks massive to me. It doesn't look fast, it doesn't look heavy. I think that they really do try to fit this bike heavy as possible, because it is entry level, just to make it appear like it's a super big tank. But honestly, I think if you took these tires and these wheels off this bike and put on maybe some DT R470 wheels, or maybe just a decent budget pair of alloy wheels, I think you drop a half a pound. I don't know the exact weight, but these wheels, these Fulcrums, I have experience with these Fulcrums before in the past. I have taken these wheels off bikes, and these things are noticeably heavier than other alloy wheels that I put on there in the past. I know Fulcrum's the Italian name. I know Fulcrum makes some really nice high-end stuff, but their low-tier stuff to me, I'm not a fan of, and it makes a big difference. So 19 pounds, 8 ounces. I think it was like 9 kilos as well. That is crazy for a $6,000 bike. If I have to be honest with you, that is super crazy. I mean, again, you're going after race geometry. I get it. But I think if you take those wheels off and you put on some carbon wheels, it'd be great. And let's also talk about the price point. We get $6 grand here. We're getting a full electronic Di2 105. This, to me, in terms of other companies' price points, this is pretty on par with Pinarello's price pointing. They're about $500 over what the market value is. This is comparable to SRAM Rival Axis, the group set. Also, we're starting to see 105 Di2 bikes come out. They're all about $5,500 to $5,000. $5,500 to $5,000. Pinarello is obviously going to be more expensive because they charge more for that name. So it is going to be $6 grand. So it is on par with the market, but a lot of you guys are going to say overpriced, because everyone thinks everything's overpriced. They should have everything for free, but it is what it is. Now, in comparison to the new Cannondale I just dropped, the Super 6, that bike I think is like $5,500 with carbon wheels and Ultegra Di2. That bike blows a lot of these bikes out of the water. Cannondale did a great job marketing that bike, and Cannondale did a great job of advertising that bike, and pricing it properly. So it is what it is. But yeah, so that's my take on this bike. Let me just do a quick rundown of everything that comes on this bike, just in case you guys are wondering. This is a size 53, and hopefully you guys enjoy. So starting off with the cockpit, you guys get here the Most stem. That is a Pinarello brand with their own Most bars, with the cables going fully integrated through the handlebar, through the stem, down into the spacers. These are breakaway spacers as well. If you want to run or to drop the stem, it's able to do so pretty easily. For the handlebar tape, it is the brand Most. That is a nice wrap. You have the Shimano 105 Di2 on there, 12-speed in the rear, 2 on the front, semi-electronic or semi-wireless. They are fully electronic. Going down to the front, we have their Pinarello logo right here. We have the Onda fork that has those little kind of those bends and moves and everything like that. Those little arrow decals right there. The wheels, again, these are a Fulcrum Racing 800 wheel set. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna hurt someone's feelings here, but man, these wheels are just trash to me. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why they're so heavy. They literally look like a piece of metal roofing that I would use for like an industrial roof. Like, just spec it lighter, man. I don't know what the hell they do. It's like they shove like weight inside there, just concrete inside that little hole. The tires as well are a Pirelli P7 Sport tire, 700 by 28C tire. Again, not the lightest tire at all. You could definitely lose some weight by doing lighter wheels, lighter tires, and a TPU tube instantly. For the brake calipers on here, it's the Shimano 105 disc brake calipers with a 160 Shimano disc brake rotor. We have our little through axle right here that can go ahead and come out. This is a Pinarello, so it is still Italian threaded bottom bracket, so it is the opposite turning direction of what you need, but it is a Shimano threaded BSA bottom bracket, Italian style, with a 105 Shimano crank. This is a Pinarello F5, so it's only going to say Pinarello on one side and Pinarello on the other. It's not going to say Dogma, but you do have that little F right there that does have on the Dogma. So now you have the F series logo right there, which you're going to see on the F5, the F7, and the Dogma F. We also have another F logo right here, another Pinarello sign right here, a Pinarello sign right here, a Pinarello sign right there, a Pinarello sign right there, a Pinarello sign right there. We have a 105 crank on here. 105 cranks are coming spec'd with a 50-34 tooth crank. I don't know why they're considering these group sets endurance style. Again, this should at least come with a 52-36. I don't know why, again, but it is what it is. On the 105, it has the front derailleur, which is much bulkier than the Ultegra. This is a reason why the price point is cheaper. You have a 105 chain, a 105 rear cassette, which looks to be a 1134 12-speed, and then the 105 rear derailleur as well, which that's going to be your brain to this group set. That's where you're going to charge it. That's where you're going to trim it. That's where you're going to pair everything. That is your meat and potatoes right there. And then for the wheel on the rear as well. All right, here comes a Frio body Santos on this Fulcrum hub. That's it. That's literally it. It just sounds like a tin can there. I'm sure the wind is overpowering. If you're gonna make this wheel this heavy, at least make it sound good. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I'll see you guys later.